obviously tough loss for us right there. Talking even a lot of things that if we do a little differently, everybody probably would. Coaches, players, everybody. And that's as you look at it. But you get big games, margin for error is small, and it's easy to look back and say, "Boy, I would have liked to fix that, like to fix this for us." Key stats to me again: no turnovers in the game, which you really would have liked to have created a turnover or two in the course of the game. A couple mistakes. Some negative yardage plays offensively, I thought really set us back at times to get us off schedule, and hard to do that coming back. And then, on third down, our third down defense was really good. Our red zone defense I thought was good, for the most part, you know what I mean? And but we didn't get off the field on third down. You figure a team like that, you're going to let them drive and eventually stop them in the red zone in the end. And we did that for most of the night, but third down defense was a big one for us. So.
And the last scoring drive you guys had took almost 7 minutes off the clock. Was some of that trying to get your defense a rest?
No. When you're down 2, you got to score once first. So it is, let's make sure we put a solid drive together and get the touchdown first, and we did that, and that's kind of the whole thought that goes into that is, don't panic. Don't need to panic. Run our offense, execute our offense. Let's take it down the field. We executed clean. We punched it in, and we executed clean. I thought we played okay on offense at times. Just some mistakes kept setting us back at different points of the game, and obviously only ran 52 plays offensively, so that's not very good. And needed to stay on the field better on offense and get off the field on defense. So.
Hey, Coach, they do anything special to stop you guys in the run game? You really had nothing on the ground tonight.
No. I didn't do anything to me. We fell behind, wanted to take the lead. We fell behind early. And so we were throwing a little bit more. The goal was to try to take the lead. I think, they scored that touchdown to take the lead was a big, I think that was the biggest play of the game right there. Right? I think we thought we were off the field on third down, and they got sent back on.
Does it make it harder to call plays though when the run game just can't get going?
I don't think we tried to call many run game plays, to be honest. I don't think they did that. And then when we ran the ball, P-Run had 7 carries, 31 yards. Right? Pierce 3 for 13, right? I don't know, 10 for 44 for the running backs. We just stayed on the ball.
Jake Fromm, what do you think of his performance and the lack of pressure? Do you think?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. They did their O-line. Give their O-line credit. They did a good job of not allowing pressure.
What do you attribute their success on third down to? Their offense.
Well, you can go in every direction you want to go, right? Right. We had a missed tackle. They got helped out a couple times. Missed coverage. So.
Dan, everyone knew the stakes were really high in this game. Obviously, SEC title chances, playoff chances, but it was the same last year as well. So, do you draw on how last year finished at all? Does that translate? Did you talk to the guys about that at all?
Every year is independent of itself.
So, what is there then left to play for in your guys' eyes?
A lot, right? There's a lot of football still left to be played in the league. The division hasn't been clinched by anybody. It wasn't going to be clinched today by anybody. So, whether we won or lost the game, next week's game is a really big game for us, and it really
That's
how it works.
Georgia was 12 for 17 on third down today. Fromm made a lot of big throws. Were you trying to confuse him with schemes?
We called a lot of different defenses. Like I just said, there's a lot of different answers for why they were good on third down. They're not one thing. There's a lot of different ones.
Is there a reason you didn't pressure him more on third down?
No.
When you knew it was passing situation?
No. We tried to mix up different looks. Like I said, those are 18 third downs. So each one of them is going to be pretty independent, to be honest with you. So,
Dan, you had to
couple
burn
by penalty, right? I think we gave a penalty on third down, give him a first down. We had overturned or call stands. That was one of the biggest plays of the game.
You had to burn 2 timeouts on the first drive,
Yeah.
and then you had to burn another one late. It seemed to get you frustrated. Was
we had the wrong personnel on the field. The first 2 drives we had the 2 different things. One, we had the wrong personnel on the field for the play call.
And 10 men, yeah.
Yeah, we had the 10 men on the field, and then we didn't get lined up right. I got in late, and the other one, and the one in the fourth quarter, I think they signaled the wrong formation, and the guy receivers wasn't lined up, and at that point it was too big a point in the game to not use the timeout and make sure we get the first down.
Your frustration seemed to boil over there?
Well, yeah, I'm always frustrated. I'm frustrated because that's stuff, like I said, there's all little things you can point out. That's a very manageable situation right there, right? I mean, that's us signaling in the formation and getting lined up right.
You mentioned the play being reviewed with Cager being a turning point. What did you see from it on the sidelines in the replay?
I just looked at the jumbotron, so I saw what you saw, but I asked the official, but they said that decision's made in Birmingham, so they couldn't even give me an explanation. That's a question for Birmingham.
Dan Jabari seemed to get banged up a little bit there. He lost Jeremiah. How much did that impact kind of what you guys wanted to do?
Well, just next guy up, you know what I mean? I mean, that's been our deal, so I don't know how much that impacts us. We've just had to deal with that all year long. I've always said from the beginning, if you want to have a successful season, one of the things to do is look at your health. And most teams that are healthy have successful seasons.
Do you have any sense on Moon, if it's going to be a while?
I'll get the reports, later from the trainer.
You just think Tony could go more today?
I'm sure he could have. Yeah, he was fine. I mean, he just hadn't.
Right.
He's been out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Try to get him the ball early. Like I said, you want to play. You want to play with the lead against them. They don't play very well from behind, I don't think. You want to play with the lead, and we weren't able to do that early. And from that, you're kind of changing. You get out of your game plan a little bit for how you like the game to go.
How big a blow is the busted coverage?
Which one?
You guys, well, the 52-yard, or you guys.
That was a big one. Both their touchdowns were busted coverages. No, that's just mental. That's mental. That's I mean, being disciplined, being exact, being where we're supposed to be.
How huge were those 2 touchdown drives for you? What do you feel like was working with the offense then?
Well, I think we executed. If you saw, we really didn't put ourselves behind the chains. Didn't make some. There were some mistakes that we did. That we made at other points in the game. We didn't make on those drives. I mean, really, I think it's not that complicated. You gotta execute. You gotta throw, catch, run, block, tackle, execute. We got to do a good job as coaches, making sure we're putting the best guys in position to make plays. So.
There were a couple times tonight Trask dropped back and didn't throw it away, went too far, got sacked. Were they just flustering
Just
him?
learning experience for him. I mean, he's got that'll be a learning for him. We'll go and coach that and teach that. He's looking at something, and sometimes, trying to do too much, just take what the defense gives you. Got us behind the chains a couple times with certain things, but he'll learn from those.
Dan, you went through this a little bit last year with this,
Mhm.
coming off of, a lot of build-up, tough loss. What's the message of the team so it bounces back better today?
Well, I mean, the message for the team is there's an awful lot to still play for. Like I said, I mean, there's a lot of football still left. We got 3 more games to go play in a bye week. We've qualified for a bowl game, so we'll get that extra. How good that is, we'll see. The East still hasn't been decided. There's still, like I said, a bunch of football. Unfortunately, we don't control our destiny anymore, which is frustrating for us. But we'll see. The adversity. To me, your character is tested. This is when we see if we have character as a team. Our character wasn't really shown like out there on the field. That doesn't define what your character is out there on the field. We're going to come play. We're going to play hard for 60 minutes. We did that, right? We did some really good things. We made some mistakes. We all can work to get better. Your character is defined on what you're doing in response to that. Are we as coaches working to make sure we're doing a better job as coaches? Are we as players making sure we're working to be better as players? Are we maximizing the effort we give every single day and what we're doing to best develop ourselves? That's your test of character, and so that's what's ahead of us as a team as we get to see in individuals. It's a great check of where our character is going to be over these next 3 games and what type of team, how we're going to finish this up.
Dan, Georgia's kind of been the standard in the SEC East the last couple of years.
Mhm.
2 cracks at them now. Overall, you've done great against rivals, but this one's eluded you so far.
Mhm.
How close do you feel Florida is to reaching their level as a program?
7 points.
Do you use this game as a measuring stick for where you guys are at overall?
No, 7 points behind Georgia.